Hey, what's going on, everyone? It's Chris, and welcome back to the 2015 NFL season predictions. It is week 16. How is everyone doing today? Alright, so we have 32 games left in this season. 32, just 32 games. And things are really winding down now, and it's scary. It's scary because we don't really know what's going to happen. A boatload of teams got eliminated this past weekend, and on top of that, we only have 18 teams still competing for a playoff spot, with 12 of them getting in. 6 of them will be left out, and there's a chance that by the end of Saturday, 2 of them would already be eliminated, the Eagles and the Giants, if the Redskins win, because then the Redskins would win the NFC East. So that's crazy. That is cray-cray. But I'm looking forward to what's this upcoming week. It's going to be a good week. But before we get to this week, let's go back to last week and see how I did with my predictions. I'm going to say the Bucks will win. I'm going to go with the Jets. I'm going to take the Vikings. I'm taking the Jaguars in this situation. I am going to take the Texans in this matchup. I'm taking the Chiefs. The Panthers are going to win this game. Patriots win. I'm going to say the Bills win this game against the Redskins and hurt the Redskins big time. Packers will win against the Raiders. The Seahawks win this game. I'm taking the Bengals in this matchup. I'm actually going to go with the Broncos here. I'm picking the Dolphins. Cardinals will win this game. I'm going to go with the Saints here. Alright, 129-95. Good week for me. 10-6. Not bad. Not bad at all. That's another double-digit victory for myself. That was very nice. But yeah, the dream to not have 100 losses, it's not likely to happen unless like I go 14-2 the next 2 weeks, which would be very interesting. It'd be unique if that actually happened. Yeah, this is gonna be a wild finish for this league, and seeing last week, not too many surprises, but we kind of realized who the big threat in the NFC East is. The Redskins, I feel, are the biggest threat. The Giants, they competed hard, and they beat the Panthers, and that was no, they did not beat the Panthers. What I'm saying, they almost beat the Panthers, but of course, like always, they fail. And that was a huge game for them. But then, at the same time, I just don't think now they basically, their fate is in the Eagles' hands this Saturday, and if the Eagles can't get the job done, and clearly they were just a mess against the Cardinals, I just don't think I think the Giants and the Eagles are pretty much out of it at this point. I think the Redskins are going to end up winning Saturday's game. I'm going to talk about that, and end up winning the entire division. So that was one thing I learned from last week. The Steelers, I realize, are the biggest threat to the Patriots in the AFC right now. I still don't think they're going to end up being able to win the division, considering that the Bengals, even if they lose this Monday matchup against the Broncos, they still got the Ravens and the following Sunday, and let's face it, the Ravens cannot be a juggernaut that has been the Bengals. That's just basic facts. Like, they have not at all played well the past few weeks, so I just don't think that they'll have the ability to take down the Bengals in that case. So I think the Bengals still win the division, but the Steelers, the biggest threat to the reigning Super Bowl champions in terms of the AFC. And the Panthers are still kick-ass. It's another one. They're just kick-ass. They are really, this, after getting past this week, they are most likely going to win out. They're going to go 16-0. 19-0, that's another story. We have to see who they have to face, but 16-0 seems very likely right now, having to face the Falcons and the Buccaneers. Maybe the Falcons will grow from their mistakes a few weeks ago, be able to dive back into this one and be like, alright, let's go, let's do this. But I don't know if it's gonna happen or not. Yeah, and then the Seahawks are kicking ass all of a sudden. They started out 4-5, and now they're 9-5. Chiefs are still rolling. Started out 1-5, now 9-5. Like it's ridiculous. This season is absolutely ridiculous. How so many teams have had these turnaround seasons. It's amazing. It really is. And the Jets, man, my Jets. They're 9-5, and even if they go 11-5, they might actually miss the playoffs, which sucks ass so much. Anyways, let's dive into our favorite segment. RIP. So, 7 teams have been eliminated from playoff contention this past weekend. You got the Chicago Bears, the Dallas Cowboys, the Buffalo Bills, the Oakland Raiders, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, the New Orleans Saints, and the St. Louis Rams. Their seasons ended this past week. A very unfortunate thing to happen. Again, I'm a Jets fan, but I love the Bills as well, and it's kind of sad to see them here because they had so much potential. But I kind of realized, I got really excited when they announced that Rex Ryan was going to be the head coach for the Bills. So I thought, maybe this could be a turnaround for the Bills. Like, this could be like, they have this boasting head coach, and like this guy that has had success in the past with the Jets team, and they have all the talent to make it to playoffs. I mean, this seems like this could happen. Now I realize how bad of a head coach Rex Ryan really is, and I hope, I know it's after one season and everything, but if there's going to be some hardcore schematic changes, I think you might want to get rid of not only the head coach, but even the general manager, because I don't know, I feel like he's been in the air too. Like, just some of the decision making, it just does not make sense. Like Fred Jackson, we needed Fred Jackson, man. We have Carlos Williams, we have LaShawn McCoy, but we needed Fred Jackson. We gave him away to the Seahawks, so that just did not make any sense to me. Or we just released him and he went to the Seahawks, but still, it's ridiculous. As for talking about the other seasons, I don't want to get too in detail about all of them, but the Buccaneers are the team that I feel like, I feel like they did such a good job this season, and I feel bad that they're out of it, but they really did. They really proved that they have a good future ahead of them, and I think that a few more good draft picks here and there could make this Buccaneers team a contender in the future. So that'll be very exciting. The Raiders also looking like a future contender. They're iffy right now, but they need, once they get a few more add-ons here and there, they could do it. And hopefully they find a good safety to replace Charles Woodson, which will be very hard to replace. Charles Woodson announcing his retirement a few days ago, and that I feel bad because I just started following the league and learning about him as someone who's considered one of the all-time greatest defensive players. People even say that he is the best, and he really is. Like, I just seeing some of the plays that he's made this season, it's just unbelievable. He's really good. And a part of me does wish that he did bring a Super Bowl home to Oakland. Like, I wish that he was able to bring the Raiders a Super Bowl win, but unfortunately they just did not have the rest of the team was never actually there. He was able to go to Green Bay to get a Super Bowl championship, but I have so much respect for him, so congratulations to Charles Woodson for his retirement. That is a big deal. And how about the Cowboys, man? How about them Cowboys? That is, what a season, man. I'm talking in a very sarcastic manner, because that season sucked ass. I cannot believe the fucking turnaround for these Cowboys. The complete 180 from last year. It's ridiculous, because I feel that the Dallas Cowboys were going to be a contender and everything, then and even without DeMarco Murray, it's like, all right, well, I mean, how much is the running game going to matter? Well, it does. It does very much matter. And then they lost Tony Romo for basically the entire season. They had him for all of, I don't know, like 2 or 3 games. It's a mess. It's a mess, and I don't believe the problem is just that, we didn't have our starting quarterback. I think the Cowboys need to kind of build a little bit more in other areas. They need to fix certain areas, because they could have easily won with the quarterbacks that they had. I know that they're terrible quarterbacks, but they could have still won. They really could have. There's so many things I felt like they could have done better in general. And it's just sad that where they are. It really is. It's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. The complete meltdown that team had. And now we look at the Bears, the Saints, and the Rams, and all of them at one point in the season had some sort of potential to do good things, and they all failed just horribly. But we shouldn't be too surprised, but it sucks. It'll be interesting to see what happens, though. It'll be very interesting to see what happens with those 3 teams, because they do look good in some areas, bad in others. So we'll see what happens. And with that being said, let's move on to our graveyard picks, because these are the matchups that do not matter at all. So I'm not really gonna give too much analysis to them. So we're gonna start with the Thursday night matchup. I am going to pick the Raiders. So Charles Woodson gets his home victory, his last home victory. Next up is the 49ers and Lions. I'm going to go with Lions here. The Cowboys and Bills. I'm going to go with the Bills here. And the Bears at the Buccaneers. I'm going to go with the Buccaneers on this one. Alright. Now on to the real picks. The ones that truly matter. And nothing matters more than this matchup right here. The Redskins against the Eagles. A Redskins win would have them win the division. An Eagles win keeps it open for all 3 teams. And then if we go into week 17 with an Eagles win from this week, and let's say the Giants win somehow against the Vikings, they are all at 7-8. And the Eagles win would have the Eagles win the division. I'm talking week 17. So Eagles beat the Giants, the Eagles win the division. The Redskins win and the Eagles lose, the Redskins win the division. If the Redskins lose and the Eagles lose, which that would mean the Giants win because they face the Eagles, the Giants win, they win the division. So either we can have this said and done tonight, or all hell's gonna break loose. Because that's always fun. So yeah, or we can have the Eagles win and then the Giants lose, so it'll just be between the Redskins and the Eagles. So who knows? But in terms of this matchup right here, the last matchup was a lot of fun. I gotta say, it was a lot of fun to watch this game, that game, between them like a few weeks ago, or a while ago actually. It was probably back in October. The Eagles at the Redskins that was a hell of a matchup, and no one really expected the Redskins to win that game, and they did. They absolutely did. So I don't know. To me, what I saw last week with Kirk Cousins, who is clearly a franchise quarterback. Let's face it, he's a franchise quarterback. He's kicking ass. With what I saw on all cylinders, was just truly awesome. And again, yes, it was against the Bills, who have just sucked this year, but they've shown that they're a team that is tough to beat at times. You know, there's some teams that have had their way with them. Easy blowouts have happened when Redskins have been on the losing end of them. But they are a team that continues to grow and continues to show that there is a bright future here. And I am going to pick the Redskins to win this and win the division. And they'll get their shot against the Seattle Seahawks in their home stadium in FedEx Field. I feel like the Eagles, again, I feel like the Eagles are a mess. And yes, they couldn't beat the Cardinals, but of course the Cardinals are a juggernaut, but and plus, yes, you can make a lot of arguments that the Eagles can win this game. I, right now, feel like the Redskins are a good enough team to beat them. And they beat them before, I think they can beat them again. So that's how I see it. So, Redskins win it, they win the division, eliminate both the Eagles and the Giants for playoff contention. On to Steelers at the Ravens. This matchup was very interesting. This last matchup was the Thursday night football game, at which the Ravens pulled out the miraculous victory, and that was known as pretty much the Scooby game, because Josh Scooby, whatever his name was, just completely was terrible at kicking, and it was a mess, really, for the Steelers, and that was when Michael Vick was the starter, because Brendan Roethlisberger was injured. But now, this team is completely different. The Steelers are a completely different team. And of course, a lot of people are going to be like, oh yeah, well no, the Ravens, they get upset. Let's face facts, people. They have no quarterback, no running back, barely any wide receivers. Their defense is a mess. The Ravens are not a team. Period. They're just not a team. They're not a good team, they're not a bad team, they're not even a team. They exist at this point. And they're just going to try to finish out the year. I mean, look, there have been times where they've, with what they had, they are able to beat teams like the Browns. That was really it. And I think the Chargers at one point. I think that was a backup quarterback that won that game for them. I'm not too sure. But this team is a mess. I just can't see the Ravens beating the Steelers. If they do, thank you, because the Jets need it. But I don't think it's gonna happen. The Steelers will win this game. The Steelers win. Again, that would be a shock if the Ravens do, especially with that secondary. I don't know. It's weird. That would be weird. The Steelers win. On to Panthers at the Falcons. So we just got off of this. This was a Week 14 matchup, and now it's Week 16, and they're already facing each other again. This time at the Georgia Dome. The Panthers just kick ass. And then, look, the Falcons finally won. Good for them. They finally won. And they pretty much put the dagger in the Jaguars season, unless a miracle happens for the Jaguars and they still end up winning the division, which could happen. But the Falcons, they got finally a good win, because they haven't in a long time. They finally got that W. But to have that momentum of that win going into the Panthers game, it's gonna help them, but is it really gonna bring them away? I mean, this is the Falcons that we're talking about. This is a team that has just fallen off the deep end. They have improved from last year. Believe it or not, they were 6-10 last year. This is an improved team. With that being said, this is not a team that'll bring down the undefeated Panthers. You can't do that. There's no way that they can do it. And if they do, this would be the shock matchup of the week. This would be the shock if the Falcons could bring down the Panthers. I think the Bucs have a better shot at beating the Panthers than the Falcons do, personally. I still believe that the Bucs are a better team. I'm going with the Panthers. There's no way. They're great. The Panthers are a great team. Colts and the Dolphins. So the Colts are apparently going to have Matt Hasselbeck start again. Why are they doing this to him? I mean, the guy is so beat up at this point. He's a mess. He got ribs injuries and head injuries and shoulder injuries, and it's amazing that they're letting a 40-year-old quarterback continue to start, continue to play. I mean, I get maybe he wants to, but that's not the point. But it's not what you don't start him because he wants to. You gotta start him because he will give you the best chance to win and that he's healthy. This guy is not healthy. He's gonna go up against a Dolphins team that is kind of trying to learn how to do a pass rush. But I just that is just ridiculous to me. I would just start Charlie Whitehurst at this point. It would take a miracle for the Colts to actually win this, and it would basically take the Texans to lose out, and the Colts to win their next two matchups. So it would take a miracle, but I don't think the Colts can do it. So I'm actually gonna go with the Dolphins here. And the Dolphins let me down last week and lost to the Chargers of all teams. But I still have hope. I still have hope just because the Colts don't have Phillip Rivers at quarterback, and they don't have Andrew Luck at quarterback, and they have a beat-up 40-year-old at quarterback for whatever reason. So I'm going Dolphins. I think they'll finally get their groove going, and we'll see. We'll see what happens. I think the Dolphins will win this, and will set it up quite nicely for a Texans AFC South championship. Oh man, this matchup. Patriots against the Jets. Oh god. Oh. Wow, I want to like burn myself right now. This team, the Jets, have outdone my expectations for this season. They've completely have been the shock for me this season. The Panthers, yes, of course. So the Panthers were, that's a given for them to be a shock, going from 7-8-1 to now 14-0. But the Jets felt like a team that was going in the wrong direction for a while. Starting with the Geno Smith, well, obviously starting from last season from 4-12, and then we still felt like there was a quarterback issue, but then everyone was like, oh yeah, Geno Smith, he's been having a great training camp and everything, you know, he might actually shock some people. Then he gets socked by a guy, a like second, third tier linebacker, who's now with the Buffalo Bills with Rex Ryan, and it's remarkable to me. It's absolutely insane to me that we now have Ryan Fitzpatrick at quarterback, and he has played the best season that he has played in his career. Brandon Marshall and Eric Decker are arguably one of the best, if not the best, wide receiver duo right now in the league. What? Like, where did this come from? We didn't even think that this was even possible, to have like a bunch of like older guys on this team kicking some ass. Chris Ivory's having a field day with himself at running back. I mean, he's had a few rough games the past few weeks, but like he's been getting his job done, and the defense has been remarkable. And Jarrell Revis, even though he's been on and off the football field, he's been playing pretty alright. He got into the Pro Bowl. That's another thing that happened. The Pro Bowl's selections came out, and 3 Jets got in. It's amazing. It's really amazing. I'm proud of the Jets. I'm really happy about the Jets, and the chances of them making the playoffs right now, probably it won't happen. But they've clinched their first winning season since 2011, and I'm proud to be bleeding green right now. It's really nice. So, love you, Jets. Love you forever. With that being said, the Patriots will win this game. Yeah, that's an obvious. Patriots win. I mean, the Patriots are just that they even through all their injuries, they still somehow find ways to win games. This is going to be a tough matchup for them. I think the Jets are going to keep up, but I've yet to pick against the Patriots, and I don't think it's going to stop anytime soon. So the Patriots will win this game, and to the misfortune of the Jets. The miracle would be the Jets win this game, and then the Chiefs or Steelers lose their next game, Because I think at that point the Jets would clinch. Maybe. Not too sure. But yeah, it's awesome. It really is awesome for the Jets. But the Patriots are going to bring them back down a little bit. Because the Jets are no way a Super Bowl team. No way. So, that's just the facts. Alright, on to Texans at tight ends. This is an easy one. Titans lost Mariota for the rest of the season, probably. Meanwhile, the Texans are probably either with Whedon or Hoyer. Hoyer, they're hoping for Hoyer, obviously, but if Whedon plays, even if Whedon plays, I still think the Texans will win this game, just because this is a team that really showed that they're good enough to win the AFC South, which is not that good, but I think that they have the ability and they have the group to bring home the bacon. Yes, for the AFC South Championship. So with a Colts loss and a Texans win, the Texans win the AFC South. The Texans win this game. That'll be a good Sunday for the Texans. It'll be very awesome. Browns at the Chiefs. The Chiefs have been rolling, and I don't think they're going to stop. I think they could be. This could be a trap game, though, because the Browns, Johnny Manziel, he's starting to look like a starter. I mean, he didn't have that great of a game last week, but he's starting to look okay. He's starting to get into his groove, and I think it would be interesting to see the Chiefs lose to the Browns. It'd be amazing to me if that actually happened. But I'm going to go with the Chiefs. But trap game. I think it could be a trap game. Jaguars at the Saints. Poor Jaguars, man. I was pulling for them to try maybe make the AFC South Championship. With the scenario that I'm thinking right now, it ain't gonna happen. But they had a good year. They had an okay year. They're definitely clinched a losing record, but they're slowly becoming a team that people might have to watch out for, because they've gotten the materials together. They've gotten the materials to make this a really good team. The Saints, on the other hand, lost to the Lions. Just a mess of a team right now. Even with Drew Brees at quarterback, the defense is historically horrible. Just bad. And Blake Bortles, who I believe has thrown a ton of touchdown passes the past few weeks, I'm just going to go with it. I'm going with the Jaguars, because they deserve that win. I believe it. I think they can do it. Packers at the Cardinals. So this game feels like it's going to be a hell of a game, and I think it's going to be. But the Cardinals, by the way, I lost Tyrann Mathieu. God, that sucks, man. It's gonna change their defense a little bit. Absolutely, he was one of their best. He was the best player on that defense, probably. With that being said, though, I think they'll be okay. They still have a juggernaut of an offense, and the defense has still played well. I still think the defense can still play well without Tyrann Mathieu, but it's still a heck of a loss. With that being said, the Packers have not looked the same this year. They looked so good last year, and then this year it's like they're just kind of hanging out. You know, I would not be surprised if the Vikings still win the NFC North, because the Packers they're not there. They're just not. I don't even know how to put it. They're just. It's a weird. Like Aaron Rodgers, he's still playing well, but like nothing's the same from last year. Everything went down a notch. Everything, even Aaron Rodgers. Every position has went down a notch from last year, and I just don't think the Packers can be put into a Super Bowl contending team anymore. I think they're more of just a playoff team, more than anything. So I'm gonna go with the Cardinals here. and that is just because the Cardinals are still a juggernaut, no matter what. They're still a good team. So the Cardinals win it. Rams at the Seahawks. The Seahawks have been rolling. They've been just kicking butt left and right, and now it's time for the ultimate revenge game against the Rams. And the Rams, they played well last week. They played very well last week. Do they have the power to bring down the Seahawks again? They may, but I just don't believe. I still think the Seahawks are the much better team. The Seahawks will get their revenge. The Seahawks will win. You go to 10-5. So there you go. Go on a 6-game winning streak. Alright, Sunday Night Football. The Giants at the Vikings. The Giants are on the verge of being eliminated, and the Odell Beckham Jr. embarrassed himself last week. That was a mess of a situation. Don't really want to discuss it too much, but to say the least, as of right this minute, I believe he's not playing. They do have the appeal going on, and if he's playing, I don't know if it'll matter or not, but it would still be a huge thing for the Giants. And I think that the Vikings, they showed that they're still a good team last week against the Bears. And I think the Bears even have the capability of being the Giants. Like, the Giants played great. They played great last week, and they really kept up. They had an amazing comeback. Something just clicked. But they couldn't pull it out. You know, it's kind of one of those things where they have these flashes of greatness, and then they kind of fall flat. I think the Vikings will still... I think it could be close, but I think the Vikings will come out with the victory here. The Vikings will win it, and will keep up with the Packers. With the Packers loss and the Vikings win, they both will be 10-5 going in to Week 17. I believe the Vikings will probably be back on Sunday Night Football with the Packers for the NFC North title, because that'll be fun. That'll be interesting. Alright, this is the matchup that I've been looking forward to all year, because this was the matchup that really just, it was awesome to watch last year. The Bengals at the Broncos. Unfortunately, this is not going to be the matchup that we all thought it was going to be in the beginning of the year. You know, Andy Dalton versus Peyton Manning. No, it is Brock Osweiler versus AJ McCarron. Yep, that's that. With that being said, though, there's still all these great weapons for both teams that they have on offense, on defense. This is still going to be a hell of a game. Good for ESPN that they got this matchup, because this is a great matchup. I'm really looking forward to this. This is going to be for the bye. This is going to be for the bye, because more than likely the Patriots will get the number 1 seed, but the Bengals and Broncos, whoever wins this game, will probably be the number 2 seed. And it's crazy, by the way, to think the Broncos could go from potentially to be a 2 seed to potentially out of the playoffs completely. Like right now, that's their scenario. They can range from to have a bye in the playoffs to not being able to have the playoffs. Like, it's crazy, the scenarios that could happen. And I say that the Bengals have a good enough team right now to take on this Broncos team and upset the Broncos, because I think the Broncos have a high chance of winning it, but I think the Broncos kind of showed that they're not that amazing against the Steelers, and I think the Bengals, actually, I don't know, it's a tough call, but I'm going to pick the Bengals. I'm picking the Bengals in this one, and that's just because I feel like the Bengals are much more together than the Broncos are right now. I feel like the Broncos are a little bit of a mess. And if the Bengals can go in here and get the win, they win the division, and set the Broncos up for potentially the Chiefs winning the division. Potentially. That'd be wild. It'd be wild. And that is the end of the Week 16 predictions. So the change of time, we're not going to be doing our predictions on Thursdays. They'll be put up on on Friday rather, of next week, to correlate with the change in the football schedule, where we'll really only see football every weekend and not during the course of the week anymore. This will be the last time that we'll have a Thursday football game and a Monday football game. So yeah, that goes to show that it's all just winding down. College football, though, has been going on, though, luckily. So we got college football at least, guys, for a little while. So that'll keep us busy during the week. Alright, well, that's it, guys. Thank you so much for watching. This has been a pleasure of a series to do. And I look forward to doing my final season predictions next week. To see who makes the playoffs and who does not. Who will be in the graveyard next week and who will be riding high into the playoffs. We'll have to see. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.